The events of that day 25 years ago changed the city and changed the lives of those involved and taught us all about effective leadership and disaster response. We will never forget.
When this tragedy began to happen, there were all kinds of resources that came together in this community, as we traditionally have done. Fortunately, the first one that we had on the scene was 185. They were there. If they had not have been there initially, we probably would have lost more lives. The community effort is remembered with the new 232 exhibit unveiled last week under the Mid-American Museum, and the new reflection area outside the runway 22 where the plane crash landed. The exhibit also showcases the area where the training took place, as has been mentioned, 2 years in advance of the tragedy. Amazing, amazing, ladies and gentlemen.
One of the first things you might notice about this new exhibit that was just opened about 232 is a piece of mangled metal pulled from the rubble. The man who sat down in that pilot's seat shortly before 2 p.m. on July 19th, 1989 in Denver had no idea how the events of the next few minutes and hours would change his life and the lives of hundreds of others forever.
I am strong when I'm on your shoulders.
Despite the tail engine explosion and the loss of all flight controls, Captain Al Haynes, his crew in the cockpit, and his team of flight attendants saved lives that day. What they did has been called a miracle, when they used their training and skills to create hope in a situation many feared hopeless. They steered the crippled plane to runway 22 at South Sioux Gateway Airport. It's a feat that even 25 years later, no one has been able to replicate in any flight simulator. We're honored that he has come back here for this anniversary event. Ladies and gentlemen, Al Haynes.
I don't know what I'm supposed to say up here, right? Everybody knows where I was. They know where they were. Not much question about that. And we certainly didn't intend to come to Sioux City the way we did. But we are very grateful and very appreciative of everything that took place at Sioux City. And I don't know how we can possibly explain to you, everybody's tried, how much has come out of Sioux City. The way pilots are trained, the way flight attendants are trained, the way fire departments are trained, the communication services that Gary set up on the hill up there, that all came out of 232 and what all of you did.
But the world needs to know that out of this terrible tragedy, there has also come great triumph for many of us. There are endless stories of survivors and family members of those who died, who have picked up the pieces, who have dusted themselves off, who have moved on and refused to allow the crash of Flight 232 and its aftermath to dictate their lives and take away their dreams. Fortunately, there are many more of those stories than the others. I personally know of many of these people. They're a great testament to the incredible human spirit, and I'm incredibly proud of them. And many of them are in this room today.
Dennis Feeney, Nicolette Feeney, Sean Feeney, Brenda Fay,
Joseph McNally, Annabelle McNulty, Philip McNulty, Michael Moylemans,
Stephen Thoreau.
this time, late afternoon, 25 years ago, hundreds of rescue personnel from numerous communities were gathered nearby. All eyes were on this site as a DC-10 with 296 souls on board struck the pavement on its final descent. These gouges here in the pavement with grass growing in them represents the place where the plane first struck ground, the landing gear. This still reminds us that what took place was very, very real, a sign of the scars that for many never truly went away. Gathered here on the very spot where the plane first impacted, I invite you to share with me a moment of silence for the 112 beautiful souls lost that day.